Hello and good evening. Hello and good evening. We've got Ian then. How you doing, Ian? See who else turns up. Full of a cold at the moment. Just started today. Fantastic. Yeah, I've not been. I'll explain after if we get a few more, a few more in Ian. But it's not been good for a few weeks. I've either been working or not well after accidents and stuff. And then there were none. I'm back to one. I don't understand YouTube's counters sometimes. And down to none. And back to one. It's weird. Definitely weird. Oh! I've actually come on a little early. It's only just gone 8. And I've already been on 2 minutes, so hey ho diddly do. Just seeing what's occurring. Oh, might as well do a bit of personal grooming. Well, I'm waiting for people to arrive. This is a wee bit odd. Never mind. Oh, naughty bit. I think it's time for conditioner on it tonight. Yeah, I'm full of a cold. Maybe this bloody thing the government's warning you about. That it's going to kill us all again and we need masks again. I'm not wearing that shit another time. I'll wear them. I'll wear them for work if they order us there. But it's the rest of the time bullshit. I'm doing what I want and it won't be wearing a mask. And it won't be stopping him festering either. In fact, just to piss him off, I'll go out more. Time we stood up to the government. Because let's be honest, this household that's in now is not interested in us. He's one of the most anti-British and horrible and useless prime ministers we've ever had. A push bike could be more used to a goldfish than he is to this country. Yeah, I think I'm probably coming down with a cold or something here. Good evening, Mick. How you diddling, buddy? Yeah, cold or I don't think it's flu. I feel a bit shit, but not enough to say it's flu. But the last few weeks I've not been on. It's just been, oh, I've had accidents. I've had all sorts of shit. It's been a bad start to the year. I've had more friends die, and oh, it's just been a shit start to the year. At the moment, I'm beginning to wish it was 2024 again, and that was fucking awful. But yeah, what you two gents been up to today? Well, I've got three on, so I'm presuming there's another in the background. I don't know who that is, because we've got Mick and Ian talking. Oh hell yeah, I can get out. I can get out fishing again. I know I saw it, Mick. It's a bit of an odd mashup, but it works. It's just a bit odd. It's like a new style crane on an old style like truck. It works. I mean, there's some countries do stuff like that. Mash stuff up to get. If it works, it works. Hey, Mick, you shouldn't have to apologise. You work with what you've got. It's an hobby. You meant to enjoy yourself, and end of the day, you've got a mobile crane. Nobody can argue with that. Nobody can argue with it. It is what it is. I've seen time manufacturers do worse, and they're in the business, you know. Well, yeah, I've got loads of stuff in boxes in the back of no parts. Model railway, I've got stuff on no parts. Well, I've got a rover. I've got a well, a bionic dog, a Rover 3.5. I've just found my knife. Hip hip hooray! I've got one of them, an SD one. I don't know whether to put it back to normal, do a custom, or put it back to the police car. I'm not sure what to do. It's sat on the side here till I make up my mind. I got a good set of cars in. Well, I've got a couple of good set of cars in job lots. I got a job lot, and I think it were only about a tenner. But look at that were in it. A Matchbox Pickford's, what is it? 6x6 tractor. So a six-wheel drive tractor from heavy haulage. But look at that, it's a beautiful restore. They've done a gorgeous job on it. I don't know if in my box a Matchbox, if I have the trailer to that. I think I do. I think I may have it. If I do, I'll have to match the paint and do the set. Well, that's a beautiful. Whoever's done that's fantastic. Right, really good. I got a load of other stuff in with it, but anyway, I don't know whether people have seen. I've been working on my layout. I've been working on my layout today, and I've been filming, and I've got the video edited. But at the moment, I don't know whether to make it longer and put it out in Feb, or I might just finish it off tonight, do a commentary on it, and then save it and load it up. Because it's not a bad vid. It's another lot of time lapse in it. Some I'm showing round the layout what it's going to be, and another part is I've finally got one complete looper track round the outside. So I've been running trains on it today. I've got one complete circuit. So we're heading in the right direction. And I've started building bridges on it. Bring the camera up a bit. Up a bit and over that way, that's better. Yeah, building bridges on it, and the other end I'm going to build a platform and a bridge over the top of the platform, and so I'm not building a station, but I'm building right at the end of the layout, just the end of the platform, and I'll probably put a station building on the bridge over the top, and it's just to give a nod that the station's there. I'll probably put a pull in at the front of the station off the road, so you can have like taxis or whatever in there and stuff like that, and it should look nice. I'll tell you what, Pete, you don't see half of what's behind the scenes with Pete. He has a group of enthusiasts work with him. It's not just him. Rob does his on his own, and his is absolutely outstanding. Many years working it, but it's outstanding. Rod is very good. His is an American layout, and it's second to none. Mind you, Pete's a very nice, but Pete's an all gauge guy, so he has big stuff. And the building he houses it in is, there's only him could afford to do that sort of stuff. It's a huge building. And the building his models in is like a warehouse. Because you need that space for all, especially what Waterman's done. Oh, God. No denying it's beautiful, but you've not to be a millionaire for that. You've to be a multi-millionaire. And he doesn't even blink when he's buying steam engines, so hey ho, what do you do? He introduced the world to Kylie and Jason Donovan and God knows who else. Sunita, oh thank you, Pete. And yeah, some of the acts he introduced, and he's got a cut in all them, so that'll be bringing in thousands a week. Because all their back catalogues and the rights to play them, and he'll get a percentage of all of them. Because he screwed his head on right, he's got a percentage of all them. But yeah, his model making prowess. He has some beautiful stuff. He has a lot of locomotive nameplates, and you look at some of them, And most people have replicas on the wall. That guy has the real deal. He has the real plates on the wall. Yeah, a lot of money is what he has. You look at some of the plates off, name plates off locals, and they're out tens of thousands, some of them, if you want some of the more famous ones that the spotters were interested in. More than a car just for a nameplate. So I might have a replica. But there's a school somewhere, I forget where it is. There's a school somewhere and they collected locomotive nameplates during the steam days. And they've got loads of them. They've got some of them that were in the... I think they've got the ones off the locomotives that were in the Harrow rail disaster. I think they got the nameplates off them. So yeah, they're like, they'll be, God knows what their collection would be worth. Because the Harrow disaster is infamous in railway circles. Anybody that wanted them plates would pay an absolute fortune for them. Just reading about your shoe, Ian. Bloody hell. I have that sort of luck. The shoes I have now for work, they're starting to get a bit battered. I've probably got a year out of them up to now. And I buy good shoes because I've learned you get cheap ones and you buy them 2-3 times when you'd only have one pair of good shoes. Like the materials are better and everything. But I got this through this week as well. That's for me mammoth for the restoration. It were only missing the chimney, but I got the full unit for the right price. It was on eBay for about 11 quid. And he sent me an offer on it. Buy it now, $9.99. So I went, sod it, I'm not going to get one cheaper. I got it off him, so that's there for when I'm rebuilding it. Now I want a burner and a scuttle. Right, let's have a look at this question from Ian. The originals to them two locos, the Flying Scotsmans, were taken off and replaced with replicas to stop people nicking the originals. And I think that's the case with Mallard. I think they took the originals off and replaced with replicas to stop them getting, like the originals, if somebody got the originals, they were thousands, but it cost a fair bit to have the replicas made, but if you see a foundry, they've not come up in no time. I worked in a foundry, it's not too bad a job. Hardest bit would be carving out the letters. the beading round the edge and everything would be easy enough. Most locals do, Ian. I don't think many of them will have the originals on, especially the Barry Island ones. You pick the two, really. Flying Scotsman never went into a scrap line. I'm not sure. I don't think Mallard did. I think that became part of a national collection early on, so I don't think either of them went to scrap lines. But 99.9% of locals ended up in the scrap lines during Beeching's day and nationalising and rationalising the railways. And when they went there, the nameplates were taken off by souvenir hunters, collectors. So most of the Southern Battle of Britain class, and they're in collections all over the place. Battle of Britain class locals and West Countries and the other West Country, Battle of Britain and Flipneck, merchant navies. Some of them plates were beautiful, especially merchant navies, because it had the flag of the line, the merchant navy line, like, say, Cunard or White Star or whatever, whichever shipping company, P&O, and then they had the name Peninsula. P&O was Peninsula and Orient. So it's Peninsula and Orient line. You had Clan line, all stuff like. But the biggest percentage of nameplates ended up in private collections because most of the locals came from scrapyards and got restored. But there's very few, if any, I think, carry the originals. It's an interesting subject. I mean, that's my beliefs. There may be some out there somewhere, but I think the Flying Scotsman's. Could you imagine if that were in a yard somewhere, a preserved railway, and they nicked the plates off it? They'd be irreplaceable. I wouldn't be surprised if the Flying Scotsman's plates are in Lord McAlpine's family's collection. Because I think it was McAlpine who owned it first. Who owned all the road gangs and that. He was the first owner, I think. But yeah, I think Mallard went straight into National Collection. If my thoughts are correct. There is a chance there are originals on Mallard, but I doubt it. I doubt they'd leave them on for the fact somebody would try and nick them. They would have done. They'd have done it on the rear. They'd have done it on rear plate. They'd have either cast it into the sand, depending on how they cast them. Because what we used to do, how it works casting, Ian, because I used to work in a foundry, the pattern maker makes a box with a lip up to top. And then you make your pattern inside the box, so the reverse of what it would be. And then what happens once you've made that with all your design in it and everything, you fill it with a black sand, and it has like a resin mixed in with the sand, and you stamp it down. What you do first, you put some powder in it, in your pattern, you pour the sand in over top of powder, and that powder parts it from your wooden mould, and you tamp all your sand down, flatten off the surface, and then you'll have another pattern for the back of it, or the opposite side of the casting. So what you do then, you make locating pegs where it's going on to line it up, and you've got the same thing in the back of the box, what you want on the pattern in the back. You fill that one with sand, level it off, tamp it off, then the two join, and you have an hole in the top or corner, or wherever you want it. You've made the hole for the molten metal to go in, and you'll have breathing holes you've made as well, an overflow for the metal to come out, so it goes all inside the casting. It finds its level, and it fills up the casting, air can escape, so you've no air bubbles in it. And then you leave it to dry. You knock all sand off, like it goes through a shaker, shakes and bangs the sand off, and then you clean it up and everything, and you have like tree branches going into it where you've had all your holes for letting the air out so the casting fills up. And you've also got a bigger stump that was your channel for pouring the metal in. You grind them off, then smooth them off, and that gives you your finished casting then. You can fettle it, you can put a lot new grinding and polishing and everything, particularly on brass, for the name plates. They'd have done polishing. Then they'd have painted the areas in, and it'd give you finished plates. Obviously, you need to drill out holes for putting the. They'd have put countersunk screws in, so it kept it tidy on the down bits in the casting, and then they'd have painted over the screws. But yeah, you can put pretty much all sorts in. What we used to mess about sometimes, like the manager used to do things like casting hands and stuff for in his garden. He'd put his hand in the sand and then pull it out, and he'd cast his hand and stuff. Uh, Most used brass so they could polish it up here. And later ones, like diesel and electric, they used aluminium. There were very few that used cast. They used the cast one they used for wagon plates, for wagon numbers and stuff. But for locomotives, it's to be, especially a named one, it's to be a bit special. So they wanted polished and painted areas on them. So there's like brass and aluminium they'd do. But yeah, most of the old steam were brass. So they used to get the brass up and out, and the pride in the loco, they'd polish up the plates. But some are aluminium. I'm not too sure whether the merchant navies were aluminium, you know. They could have been. The actual look. Well, that's something I'd have to look. I've seen them so many times, you know, and I still haven't noticed. It's funny. But yeah, the amount of stuff you can do in foundries. I used to do pattern making, and it's a fascinating thing. I'd repair the patterns and make new. It's a string to me bow. I could do it again if need be. I don't want to, but I could do. I'll be perfectly honest. Don't want to do it. Nowadays, the amount of ailments I'm getting and the aches and pains, I'm looking more to retiring than bloody working. But that's it. Last few weeks, I've been in work. I've been ill. I've been some weeks I've been that knackered. I've just not been in mood. I was telling Mick, just you do you do Saturday at work, and it weren't. I were in yesterday, and it was a nice day because there were enough of us in, and it's horrible to say we've got less patients and the same amount of people to look after them. So it's been easy. It's been a few decent shifts, but in next few weeks we're getting 4 more patients, so we're back up to strength again. So I'll be, oh God, I'm like, because you come home Saturday and you're absolutely drained. You go in and you've got some day off, but half the time you're that knackered, you don't want to get up. Like, you'll get up and do a couple of little things and spend most of the day crash out, wake up, crash out, wake up. It's a combination of age and hard work. I know it's we're having a few week off. There'll be people not used to, but that's how I run my channels. I'll never ever be dictated to. I have to be on every Sunday, or I have to do this. I have to. I'll never be dictated to like that. It's hobby. It's a bit of fun for relaxing. It's never ever going to be a living for me. I don't want it to be either, because I'll have to start messing with taxes. And although having mentioned, I don't want to make money. I think in a bit I may be doing on Pimp My Diecast one, because I'm getting close to me 1,000 subscribers on that. Good evening, Jerry. Good to see you along. Yeah, me Pimp My Diecast channel. I'm getting close now to 1,000 subscribers. And even if I get to the point where I'm monetized, I'm not interested in it because it's such a little amount. And you're dictating yourself to like a full-time job for not huge rewards. Everybody supposes, oh, they're an influencer on it. You have to have millions of subscribers and like millions of hours viewing to make it worth it. And I'm never going to do that for die-cast cars and model railways. I might try porn, you never know, that might work. Not watching me. Proper porn. Exactly, Mickey. It should be an hobby. It's muddly. I always said when something ceases to be fun and it's a chore, it's a job. It's not an hobby anymore. It's work. And I did it with photography. I used to be a freelance tog, and I spent two. Most photographers will tell you they spend about 5 minutes of the week pressing the button and taking photos, and about 50 to 60 hours of the week doing all the office work, the developing and printing, all the unglamorous side. It's great occasionally having young ladies in the studio, sometimes new. It sounds a great life until you think, no, for that 5 minutes of fun, I've got 45 hours pissing about with all the other stuff. Pawnbroker, yeah. Yeah, pawnbroker. They're doing better than me. There's one that I've not been in for a while. I should go in, but there's one in. It's only next town over from me. I keep forgetting about him, and he gets all sorts in. He gets fishing tackle models up. He don't get models in that often, but he will get them. Model railway stuff and stuff. Anything that has a value on it, he'll take it in. But yeah, he has house furniture, electricals, oh, you name it. I'll have to pop in next week, I think, when I'm off. Have a mooch, see what he has. Not next week, week after I'm off over oh, let me think. Colne. It's a village up valley from us, Colne. Little model railway shop there is alright. But I went to one this week, a model railway shop, and it was a mixed model shop, and what a shop. They had everything. Scratch building goods, radio controlled cars, radio controlled boats. They had armour kits, model car kits, horror kits. They had every single paint colour range. They had Umbral paints, Vallejo, Mr. Hobby, Tamiya, all the big brand paints. They had the full selection in from all of them. They had loads of scratch building stuff, brass and plastics, and they had model aircraft kits, loads of them, and they had some like oddball stuff as well. Like they had a 1/16th scale tank. That had been huge. And then across the road from that there was like it's like an antique shop, but it's all model railway stuff, die casts, stamp collecting, militaria. Wow, what a fantastic shop that was. Spent an hour in there and I come out with two carriages off they were train set only because they were a rarity, but absolutely beautiful carriages of southern region. It was a Hornby train set, and it was Southern Suburban 1938. So it was a pre-war, and the carriages are super detailed with all the lining, all the interiors painted, and they're absolutely beautiful. It should be a set of 3, but I think somebody's took them out the set and joined them up for a carriage and a brake van to use on like a branch line. But they look really good. I'm going to get a Southern Terrier, I think, for dragging up behind for the sex up. Right, what you think? Hey, Ian, without a word of a lie, this guy, it was like going into Beatties in the 1970s. He's better than Beatties were in the 1970s. But he's that well stocked and that well lit. I'll put a link up. Well Chuffed Railways went in Widnes Model Centre. They went in last week and did a video. I'll put it up for you. It's outstanding. Me and my mate saw the videos, so we said, "Are we going over?" I said, "Yeah, damn right I am. Let's have a look. Let's go for a mooch." I come out 75 quid lighter anyway. After buying track, underlay, fish plates, a point I needed. No, I didn't buy a point I needed, sorry. I already had that. Well, I didn't have it at the time. I have it now. It's laid with a point motor on it. But, yeah, the stuff they have, it was an outstanding shop. And the people there, as soon as I went in, "Do you want a brew, lads?" "Yeah, right on." So they did us a brew, and can't recommend them enough. They're absolutely superb. In fact, sorry, I put a link to them in DMC. There's one in the chat, and I asked PJ to repost it for me. So PJ posted it. For anybody thinking what they're on about, what's he on about? We do all sorts there. It's mainly die-cast cars, but it's called the Die-Cast and Modelers Community. And great bunch of lads. And basically, it's a group of guys on Facebook who were interested in die-cast and modelling in general. A lot of them at the moment, they're interested in the resin printing aspect of it, which is interesting, but I'm still on the liquid resin moulding process. I don't think I'll be getting into resin printing anytime soon. It looks fascinating, but if you want to print out your downline files, or you have to scan stuff, or I mean, I love that stuff where they scan people and then print off people. Well, that's we all I can make it near enough. Anyway, here's one for you. I got a trash dump. I still need to find a wheel. I might go on eBay later. But rebuilt, well, restored an old army coach. I put some, you can just make the people out in there. I've put people in, I repainted the interior. The interior were all white, which were wrong. So I've painted all the interior. The seats are the correct colour, the floors are the correct colour, the walls are the correct colour. It's a corridor coach. Well, I'm sure you remember they used to have the corridor on the outside. There's figures in there as well. There you are, you can just see one with pink top. Everything over there. One with yellow top. So yeah, I put people on. I was doing that Friday night when I were in the tavern. I was messing about with that. It looks better than it did. All the paint had chipped off around the windows. And all the paint had chipped off the roof, so the roof's been repainted in Corvus black. Yeah, one of the Games Workshop colours. Corvus black matched it perfect. Corvus black is one of them things you call not black. Black but not black. Yeah, I think it's a Mark II. It's from the blue grey era. It's an army carriage. It won't be too authentic. At the end of the day, the army, they've lost their old ethos. Their old ethos were good. They made a compromise is the best thing to say. They made models that were suitable for kids, but also suitable for adults at the same time. Adult modelers, they were decent enough to pass for the real thing for adults, and they were made so they were tough enough for kids to handle them, and they were made decent. Like I've got coaches now, new coaches, they wouldn't put up with half the aggro kids used to give them in my day. Yeah, it's people just, I don't know, they settled. They've given me this and it's super detailed. I'm not bothered if it falls to pieces. I don't get the mentality that, yeah, they're spending now. Army's announced, like in September, it's probably going to be about a 10% increase on everything throughout the Army group, which that'll be Army, Fix, Scale Electric, Corgi, like possibly Umbral Paints. They've announced 10% increase. But you're already paying 200-300 quid for locals. Like it's a big money game now. And I'm sure if they took a lot of the stuff off and simplified them like they used to, they could sell them cheaper. But it's greed, it's not fantastic quality, and they just want them out. Yeah, that happened occasionally here. Not. I used to go with my dad from the mid 70s till early 80s. I used to go with my dad to work, and then I started working on it from the early 80s, and that happened, you'd get a DMU would go out of commission, and they'd send locomotive and carriages as replacements. If they didn't have any, if all the DMUs were out on the runs, then they'd used all the DMU stock up. They'd send out loco and carriage stock. Because a lot of what the locos did, they did a lot of freight work, but round here as well, at night time, you used to get the nighttime paper trains. They print the papers at night time the night before, and they'd take them on trains for the newspaper shops in the morning. I used to load them on Saturday night for the Sunday papers. What had happened, early morning, the empties had come back on a locomotive, and that locomotive was nice and warmed up, so if any of the DMUs packed up, they'd just hoist that locomotive onto a train, and if they didn't have any DMU stock left, they'd send out a local hold. And in winter at the time you're saying, well, 60s and 70s, DMUs were still reasonably reliable 60s, early 70s, because they weren't that old. But when they were getting towards the end of their life, they stopped being so reliable. I still loved them. I travelled many. I've lost count of how many thousands of miles I must have travelled on DMUs. Because I was took to work all the time by my dad, and I used to go myself. I've lost count how many times I went to Blackpool and back. Because my dad were a regular. One of his regular trips were Manchester to Blackpool and back. That were one of his regular workings. He may do a couple of them a day and then come home. So yeah, I've got a letter down here somewhere. He got off British Rail. I'll have to put it up in DMC when me ban's finally up. But my dad got commended and given a cash reward for putting out a fire in one of his DMUs. So yeah, probably the most useful he was in his life. But yeah, it's one thing I've kept. I won't get rid of that. Couldn't stand the sight of each other, but you can't take off a man's credit where man's character what he did a credit. Oh, you can't discredit a man for stuff he's done with character. Whatever, I don't know. He were in Royal Navy during war, you can't take that off him. Deep respect, it was just a personal thing, we couldn't stand each other. But deep respect for some of the things he did. We were just two different personalities. His character was, I'm a nice standing person in the community. And he used to buy Reader's Digest and enrich your word power, and he could do beautiful copperplate writing. And he was a pretty educated man. He was good at maths and all sorts, but he expected others to be interested in what he was doing and have that interest. And I'm laid back and don't give a shit. So our characters never gelled. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, I have the intelligence and stuff and smart, but I just weren't interested in all the bullshit of the education and I'm not up to Shakespeare standards, like, but I got decent marks in English exam when I did finally sit one, and I got decent marks in maths when I finally sat an exam. But other than that, couldn't stand the sight. But yeah, I've got a couple of DMUs for me. Like, I've so much stuff yet you haven't seen on me. Like, on me channel. So much stuff. I've DMUs, I've some of the old, the old Leyland, the old Pacers with it. I've got one of them, a Greater Manchester Passengers there. I'll be getting that up and working on it. I think I have to wire the motor in. I've put the motor in. I bought, because it has 2 motor bogies, and I bought a new one and put it in. Mate, a black belt in Ludo. I'll tell you what, I have Ludo tattooed on my penis. When I get excited, it says, "Welcome to Llandudno, have a nice day." And there we go. It's not Llandudno, it's Llandudno. Or more precisely, Llandudno. I do indeed, Mick. I do indeed. It's like the rhyme says, in the morning it used to stand up and watch me shave. Nowadays it just drips on me bloody shoes. Is this a family show? Are we still allowed to say that? It's not the BBC, is it? Yeah, we've not got, what do you call it in, have we? Valleys hasn't been in. He might not have seen. He might not have seen because I only put it up this morning. There's a couple that come in regular, but like I say, I'm not committing. If people come in, they come in. I'm not bothered if there's only 3 or 4 of us. In fact, it's better that you have lower. Not being funny, it is better that you have lower attendance. It's more personal and more interesting. When you get a lot on, the comments go past that quick. You can't possibly read them. You miss people out. Some people will get pissed off because you missed them out. It's not being deliberate, and there gets to be a degree of anonymity, is it, and stuff. I prefer a nice small group. If anybody wants a look, they can catch up during week, the videos that. Jerry, nice one. It's like we used to say when I worked engineering with me mate. You dash in and go, bloody hell, the water's cold, and then someone next to you go, Yeah, it's deep as well. Yeah, I always view that. I'd rather have. It's what I've always said with my channels, Ian. I'd rather have one or two genuine subscribers of 30 genuine subscribers than 1,000 that aren't really interested or they've just clicked on for one particular thing. In my pimp, it sounds crazy, but for me Pimp My Diecast channel, it sounds crazy, but my most popular video is one that I did for using Play-Doh to make moulds out of the casting resin parts. That's up to, what is it, nearly 10,000 views now. Like, I looked at it the other day and it had 7 views in an hour. Oh, how's that still getting that many views? But yeah, it's all hail to it. But that was one I thought, I were at a loose end and I thought, I'll just do a shit video or whatever. And weird. It's my biggest video on there. Ah, I know the feeling, Jerry. I know the feeling. In the old folks' home, Jerry, they give them half a Viagra each at night to stop them rolling out of bed. But yeah. But yeah, it worked the other day as well. I'm getting that political correctness stuff. Like one of the nurses I work with, I went past her and I goes, "All right, sweet pea." She said, "You can't do that now. It's inappropriate and stuff." I said, "Listen, love, I don't give a shit. I'm still gonna do it." She went, "You what? It's inappropriate." I said, "No. It's a group of idiots making life awkward for everybody else." I said, "We have a beautiful country where people can exchange nice pleasantries. It's not being nasty to you. I've said something nice to you. I've said, 'Morning, sweet pea,' nice and chirpy and happy, instead of being a miserable fucker and saying, 'Oh, I'm offended.' Wind your fucking neck in and just, we have a beautiful country. People are nice with each other. If you don't like it, fuck off to one of the countries that doesn't like people doing it. Because you're not welcome here." I'm sorry, but they made me blood boil when I said, "You may have gathered I've not adhering to your protocol. You can shove it up fast." And she went, "Fair enough," laughing. She says, "I'm not going to get anywhere with you, am I?" No, you're not getting anywhere with me with that modern bullshit. I've had enough. Time more people did what I did and tell them, "Fuck off, we're not doing it." What's the worst that can happen? Saying that I might be an unemployment exchange tomorrow. Never know. Have you declared? Have you declared? Have you declared it legally dead, Mick? Bless you. I know mine's somewhere down there. Oh, you know something, Ian? One of my friends, they don't do it now because they're frightened because apprentices always had their initiation. No matter where you went, if you're the apprentice or the young un, you got initiated. Some of them went overboard, but some of them were hilarious. Like my mate, I'll never forget him. He has a tale to tell, though, for his whole life. He has a funny tale. He might not have thought it was funny at the time, but a few hours after, when he got home and he was talking to people, and they were laughing about it, and he realised, yeah, it was fucking funny. But what they did, typical cheeky young apprentice, he said something to one of the older chaps, and he went, right, I'm not having this. And he had his overalls on, me mate, and they used to make the round cable drums. And for model railway ones, you'll know the ones, the BICC cable drums, the wooden ones that you used to see them everywhere at one point. You don't nowadays so much. And he used to make them. And they had obviously the hilties and everything for nailing up whatever. And he were cheeky to him, so they nailed him down on the drum by his overalls. They nailed round his overalls and nailed him to the drum. And then they stood him up and he's going, lads, let me off, come on, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. But not content with just standing him up. The yard were on a slope and they kicked the drum and he just went rolling down, cartwheeling down the yard. He was like a starfish and like attached to this drum and cartwheeling. And he said it pissed me off at the time, but looking back at it now, the things he can tell his grandkids like that we used to do, they'll be, no, you didn't. Yeah, of course we did shit like that. When I were on the territorials, I ended up with my knackers blacked with kiwi boot polish for being cheeky because I was a young buck. I was cheeky. I got paid. Corporal went, right, we're not having that, are we, lads? Pin him down. Kiwi polish on me nuts. I went, oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, happy days. Like you said, though, the slightest thing now. Oh, I'm offended. Oh, I can get you done for that. Oh, even when you're doing something nice now. Well, I don't know where this world's going with. Because I'm not kidding you. In 30 years' time, it's going to be such. Because they're cancelling this, you can't say that, you can't say that. You can't have a laugh. They're going to be so miserable in the next 30 years. I'm glad I'm my age now. I won't have to put up with them. I'm getting to a point now I won't remember what the living said 2 seconds ago in a bit. I reckon I'll get dementia, I think, and that's the best way. I'll be able to arrange my own surprise birthday party. Oh yeah, we've got 5 in. Who are the others? We've got Jessica, we've got Ian, we've got Mick. Is there anyone else out there? It's showing 5, not once for yes and twice for no. Scooby, you're in the background. Say hello, dude. What have you been up to this week, Scooby? Out good? I've been up to not a lot. I were in work yesterday and I've done quite a bit of work on layout today, to be honest. Yeah, bloody. We've got Lenin in charge now. Keir Stalin. I don't know, he's not even. He's not. He's got the Reds principle, he's got communist principles, but he doesn't have the intelligence or the statesmanship to be what his heroes were. He's a wet lettuce, he's useless. He's not a leader of people. He's like the Americans call them. They call them post turtles. And when they're asked, what do you mean a post turtle? Said, well, you and me know they're elevated above this status. He said, he's not a clue how he got there. We haven't a clue how he got there. And he's doing fuck all of any use while he's there. I don't think he has the intelligence to look after himself. Mick, he's not a self-made millionaire. It's off the back of his dad. Yeah, my dad's a tool maker. Yeah, he made you. He's a lawyer, but I don't. Let's be honest. If you're a lawyer, you're not going to give that up to be a politician, are you? Because it's a good career, a lawyer. Who'd want to mind you? He wants to be on the gravy train, doesn't he? And he won't get a particular name being a lawyer. If you want fame, it's politician, isn't it? But he's not got the intelligence to be a great statesman, and he's not got the charisma. There's no charisma. He's a boring, uninteresting pillock. He said, my mate described it best. He described one of our mates. He used to call him the cardboard cutout. That's what he is. He's a cardboard cutout with zero personality, zero skills. He's just at the end. He's well above his abilities. He's shown that he's doing all the wrong things. To some degree, it was always going to be hard for Labour because they've been out of power that long and not been used to, but I don't buy they could be this bad if they were decent politicians. This bad, for them to be this bad, they just incompetent is one of the best words. They have an inability to judge the people, the right things to do. he's doing something that the biggest percentage of the population wants to get done. He's not catering for all these little minorities. All he said is facts. And it's facts that 1% of the population doesn't like. They're all saying you can't run a. It's like I said, it's like Starmer's doing. You can't run a country catering to minorities. Otherwise, the biggest percent of the population is being left out. You've got to cater for them majorities. And you watch, I've said it before to you, mate, our education establishments are hugely left-wing promoting. They all promote left-wing unless, of course, you go to Eton or something. But the public schools, where the vast majority of people go, they're left-wing. They used to invite to my school Labour politicians. We never once saw a Liberal or a Tory politician. All we ever brought in were Labour ones. They're hugely left-wing or established. And then you listen to Starmer saying, we want younger people than 18 to have the vote. Do you get where he's going now? Brainwashing them in school. It's wrong. But to a degree, Jessica, he's doing. All the others are just going with the flow and letting it happen. And you can't do that when the majority wants something. You've got to be on the majority's side, not with a minority. And it's like he says, Trump really is going against his own. The multi-millionaires and stuff, because all these multi-millionaires, they want all this immigration, not so they can put your wages up, so they can avoid giving you raises and lowering your standards. The immigrants will be getting higher standards, and that's why they're coming. They'll get higher standards. But while they're getting higher standards from where they were, the vast majority of the people in the country are getting lower standards. Oh, we can pay these immigrants less. And don't tell me it's not happening in America, because it will be. Because I know for sure it's happening here. Because it's the global elitists that want it that way. They want to make billions, but they don't want to pay the people for making them billions. Like, they want to give them as little as possible. It's like Hornby. Well, the Hornby grew. They had manufacturing in China. And because China have clicked on, a lot of people are using us now. And we're getting a big player. So they've been increasing people's wages, give them a better lifestyle, and the export in containers is costing more. So it was costing Hornby more to have the items produced there. So what are they doing now? They're moving production to India. The next poor place that has low employment and people are struggling. Then once they start getting a decent lifestyle and decent pay, we don't want that. Move it to the next place that's on its arse. They made it too easy to move factories. Like I said, I'd have rather paid a few extra quid. Where is it? I've moved it now. Oh, wait a minute. Two kits here. I'll compare them, and they're both allegedly British kit manufacturers, but they're not. The top one is your familiar Airfix, and the bottom is Warhammer. Very similar packaging, but when you get inside, some of the Airfix kits are better quality now, but the packaging and the way they box them and everything, these two are poles apart. That's a 50-year-old kit in that box. It's cheap quality. The moulds are worn, so it has flashing. You can still make a nice kit out of it, but they want top book for what it is. I forget what that was now. I got it on eBay. I think I paid a tenner. It's top book, but average. And they cut it down and very basic. A piece of paper instruction sheet of decals and your plastic kit. And because oh no, that's just a kit, yeah, so your plastic kit, sheet of decals, a paper instruction sheet. That's it. That's made in China. So they'll have paid them, look on for it. They've probably paid about, they're selling it for £9. They've probably paid £2-3 for it tops manufactured. Now this is a wholeheartedly made in the UK. I think it's made down Nottingham way. The chalk and cheese. The actual plastic in it is second to none. The detail is outstanding. The sculpts for the figures are outstanding. They're second to none. I don't know how much you can see there. But painted up, there's a guy there swinging a flag and a veil. And it's a cannon, and the instructions. Full colour. You get inside. That's your quality of the instructions. Fantastic way to follow. It's on glossy paper. The presentation's superb. And then at the back, gives you the painting. You can do it in your own colours, but it gives you painting options. There's options for the figures. There's decals for parts that are hard to paint. I'll give you a view of the plastic. Because it is outstanding quality. There's the quality you get. Crisp, no flash, beautifully done, full of detail. And then Wait a minute. Comprehensive decal shape. Even in gold there at the top. This company, by the way, they also have, they don't just send them out to retailers, they have their own shop. They have their own shops around the northwest. They factor into the pricing. If you go into the stores during each month, they do a free figure of the month. So you can get a figure for free. Paint it. They do all their own paint range. The paints are superb. And well, they have their own shops and you can go in. And they always employ managers that are clued up. And they'll be sat there painting figures. So they'll give painting instructions. They give you guidance. Wholly British. There's nothing foreign in it. There's nothing outsourced abroad. It is a completely British company. Now it's more expensive, but for that quality, I'm paying it. I'm paying for quality. Hello, Lukey boy. How you doing? Oh, yeah, I can't get it back in box now. It's typical. Oh, there we go. We're in. Yeah, but Warhammer, it's a completely British thing. My money's going to my own country, my own people. I'm feeding my own folks. I'm not feeding someone. Good luck to them, but I'm not feeding somebody Chinese with no connection to me when I can feed me own. Yeah, and at the end of the day, Ian, reading that, the Batmobile, it's all right, but there's so many Batmobiles around with made in China on the base. Why do I want it? It's the Corgi made in England I want. I have two of them as it goes. But why would I want one with made in China on? They're good for parts, for customising the die casts and stuff, but because the thing is as well, a lot of the stuff people don't think about with these is they go, oh, it's Corgi, it's a Batmobile, it's going to be collectible, keep it in the box, look after it. They're not getting that in the future it won't be worth that much. And why? Because the whole point, Corgis, the original Corgi mobile that is still in the box, is worth so much, is that kids used to get them and they used to throw the box away. And any left box are rare. That's what they're not clicking on to. If you make 30,000 Batmobiles and 300 people keep them in the original packaging, them 300 are worth money. Then you have to take out all the ones that got absolutely battered and screens broke, bits broken off. Because you can have a good condition one that's not boxed. But the whole thing is, kids played with them. These modern Chinese ones, they'll all be, it's my models of yesteryear. Models of yesteryear don't command a good price. Why? Because they were an adult collector's model, and the biggest percentage of them kept them in the box. It's not that they weren't popular, that they're a cheap price, it's that they were more an adult's model and they kept them in the box, and the subjects, the cars, were out of a lot of kids' eras. They were still interesting nonetheless, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of models of yesteryear in back room. A lot in boxes. But even in boxes, they're not worth great shakes. I suppose it's like trains now, like... I'm a bitch, mate. I piss people off. I get brand new trains and stuff and throw box away just to keep with tradition. I bought collector's items and thrown the box away. Well, the fuck do you want that for? I'm using it. And there must be people, I kept that in that box for 30 years. Yeah, who gives a shit? It's on my way out now, it's working, it's been in a box long enough, it's doing what it's meant to be doing. Granted, with mega rare stuff, like mega rare things, like you'd never throw the box away on a totally mint condition James Bond first edition Aston Martin. You wouldn't do it with the original Batmobile. You'd keep that in the box, or a Red Wheels Batmobile. You'd keep that in a box if you got that in the original box. But certain stuff people are going, like some stuff down Smoky Joe, they probably made hundreds of thousands of them now. Why would you keep one in a box? I've got a few that are in the box, not Smoky Joe, but I like the Caledonian pugs and I do collect some. And I have the odd one that is boxed, but not because I deliberately went out to get them, they were just cheap. I picked people to the post to them. Yeah, the pre-productions are a rarer thing though, aren't they? And you've got to watch for them. Matchbox did a lot of stuff where the pre-productions were different colours or slightly different. I've got the Matchbox mod tractor. I've got a few of them. I've got about 4 or 5. But I've got the rare one with the headlamps instead of the V's on the mudguard. So that's pretty rare, that one. I'm in two minds whether to restore it, because I've got the magenta colour to do it in. And I could make a nice job of it, but do I remove that originality from it? I don't know. Because it is the rarer casting with the headlamps on the mudguards. And that were only done for part of a year till we changed it. They must have thought it looks odd and we'll put V's like it has on the bonnet or whatever, I don't know. But Matchbox did a lot of pre-production There were different colours. I've got one up here somewhere. I've got the Seaver Spider. Now, the biggest percentage, in fact, nearly all the production run, was the black plastic band round the middle, just behind the doors on the car. The rarer version has chrome, and this guy didn't know what he was selling. I think it was Stafford I picked that up at. Stafford swap meet. I was walking past and I went, that's a rarity. Thought he's got a chrome band rather than black. And I went, how much is that? And he gave me a silly price. It was practically nothing. I went, I'll have it. I thought, I'm not telling him why I'm having it, but I'm having it. He should know if he's got the business up of having stock. I'll just see if I can see it. It should be on the shelf up here unless I've put it in a case. Just give us a second. It may well be on the shelf up here. I'll soon tell you if it is. Yep, there we go. It's up there. Yeah, the biggest percentage of them had that silver band were black. So that's one of Matchbox's rarer colours. That may be pre-production, I don't know. Well, another one they did with them rod roller. The roller with it had red chrome rear wheels. So they've done all sorts. There's another one. Oh, that's one. I'll show one of my band videos for one of my customs. I had it took down for a copyright breach. I used the guy's photo because they're a mega rare car now, and I'll never see one to get a photograph unless I'm lucky at a car show and someone takes them. But I did one of them, a Matchbox one. The Talbot Rancho, Matra Rancho. And for me video, I put the photograph the guy had took as the heading anyway. He put a copyright strike against me. So the video for that's been taken down. And it were a cracking build. Like it were a beaut, that, but hey ho. Yeah, that's a good point, Ian. Although, to be fair, I thought Corgi's version of the models of yesteryear were far superior to Matchboxes. They just didn't catch on like Matchboxes. But they were far nicer models, the Corgi versions. Far better built, far nicer models, much more detail. They were probably more expensive back in the day. I can't see them not being, because you always pay more for a better product. Nearly always. Because it is a fantastic product then. I've got about 4 or 5 of the Rolls Royce. I'll have to do one of them. I might do. It's in silver and grey, the Corgi Rolls Royce, and I might do it some funky colours like Matchbox used to. I reckon that'd be good. Do it in some funky metallic colours like magenta and like yellow or something. Some proper funky colours it'd never have been in. Yeah, you're like, wow. Yeah, they were very expensive. One I'd like is that band car. They have the Hardy Boys band car. That's one I'd like. If I could find a complete version of it. Right price for a complete-ish version at right price for restoring. Because that looks pretty cool, that Hardy Boys one, for a band car. Oh yeah, is there anybody out there that's done out model railway related today? Like I say, I can't drag it in here to show you, but I've been doing the layout. I'm not sure about multicoloured, but it's got all band stickers over it. Like the Magic Roundabout Citroen. It's got stickers over it like they did with the Magic Roundabout Citroen. So yeah, I guess you could call it multicoloured, really. But I think it's band names and psychedelic flower power stuff and that it's got on it, if I remember rightly. Send some pictures of what, Mick? I don't know, I could send some smoking hot pictures of it. Decent, no nudes. I wouldn't send them a me. Should have. Should have thought. It'd be like a walrus flossing. Mick's just spat his tea, I'll guarantee it. That's why I do it to him. Yeah. I've got a video. Yeah, I might be able to take a picture in a minute. It's a long length though. Hang on, wait a minute. Was that the layout? Yeah, it's a long length. It's 15 foot long, and I've got a continuous looper track now. I've got all the points down at the back end, all down, and the point motors put on them, points laid in, and I just have to lay some more of the track, get the second loop in, and we're in business. Oh no, you don't want that, Ian. I feel sick now. I feel proper Moby Dick after you saying that. I'm going to have to go for a bath in a minute, ready for work, I think. Because I'm starting getting worn out now with cold and tired. I think it's time for a bath and sleep. Look at that, kid. 9:45 ago, I were only just planning on moving on from second pub. What happened with life? Well, actually, no, I weren't. You were staying put in the second pub now, because you were getting close to throwing out in the old days. 11 o'clock, drink up. The good old days. If you wanted to get pissed after 11 o'clock, you had to have it in at home. Or go on to a club after if it was a club day. Because club days were Thursday, Friday and Saturday. Then eventually it extended to Sunday, but not so much so. I'd scare the bejesus out of people, Mick. I would. They wouldn't be able to afford the money for the psychotherapy after. All except, I thought about that the other week. I'm going to have to get Horlicks. I've not had it for ages. Horlicks with a teaspoonful of honey in to sweeten. Mind you, Horlicks is fairly sweet, but shove this teaspoonful of honey in and ta-da. Mick, at one time, I used to think nothing of going on 3-day benders. When I were a teenager, once I turned round to my dad. I said, I'm going out for a packet of cigarettes. I turned up at home 3 days later. I said, where'd you go for your fucking cigarettes? I said, I only went to Asian shop, but I met Steve. I said, I might have known he'd be involved. Yeah, funny. Couldn't stand Steve. Mind you, my dad didn't like any of my mates. He was a funny one. Because my mates were all down to earth and didn't give a shit. Like I said, it was totally opposed to his personality. Right, lads, I'm feeling worn out now. I'm starting getting knackered with this cold. Worn down. I just want a warm bath and snuggle up in bed. I'll give them a go. Night, Luke. Hey, Luke, I talked about them before. Give that place a go over in Widnes. Widnes Model Centre. And the shop across the road, the like Curios shop, we'll call it. It has all military, die cast, like stamps, a bit of everything. Yeah, you'll love it, Luke, honestly. I bet if you go to that model shop in Widnes, you'll be there regular. We'll have to arrange a day and have a meet up sometime with me mate. Do a meet up there, Luke. Because Widnes isn't too far from where you... Well, it's about the same as it is for us, but in opposite direction, I think. It's not an horrendous distance, is it, for your witness? That's what I mean. It's probably longer for us than you, Luke. Matey, that's a blast from the past. Matey bubble bath. It weren't that long since I had it. And I'll tell you something, Ian. They changed it compared to the old formula. It wasn't the same as the old formula. Hey, in sexual equality now, they're doing Miss Matey. Only a matter of time before they have Black Matey, I tell you. Oh no, I've said it now. No, it's got to be done on equality. See, things like that I don't bother about. It's fictional stuff, and it's whoever. I'm not bothered who's on them or whatever. Good luck to everyone. Where I do get pissed is where all these modern people, and it's not necessarily black people, a lot of the ones causing the trouble are white people, like all these virtue signalers that I have an issue and they're the one. A lot of them are the ones causing the trouble. Because what I get offended at is when they cast a black woman as Anne Boleyn. I'll never argue if she's a good actress or not, but Anne Boleyn wasn't black, and she's an historical figure. The thing is, you cast Mel Gibson, or whoever, Mel Gibson, whatever, as Martin Luther King. See how far that got you? Anyway, with that thought, non-binary. Okay, I'm identifying as a toaster this week. Or I don't know, I might identify as a millionaire and see if I can get a Ferrari. Fantastic. No, mate. Yeah, I'm getting tired now. Oh, I'm sorry, Raymond. You've just got me as I'm going off, buddy. Yeah, Raymond. I explained earlier, Raymond. I've had a few weeks where I've either been working, totally knackered. I've had an accident and it's put me out of action and various reasons, and I've not done videos. And I don't commit myself to saying I'm going to be there every week, but I'll try and make it more regular now because I've got a weekend off and stuff. But yeah, cheers, Raymond. Yeah, so always keep your eye out. I'm not disappearing. It's just that I've had a shitty few weeks, so I've not done stuff. You're welcome, Ian. It's been nice to have you along. Nice to have you along, Ray. Jessica. Good to see you, Jerry. Mick, super. Luke, super. And I'll say thanks to all of you again. And I'm hitting the hot water. Ready for tomorrow, because I stink. Anyway, tatty pie, everybody. Tatty pie. Bye, folks. Tatty pie.